Hello guys, this is Infinum here, and today we're going to talk about something that is not too common. How to bloat your roster. Alright guys, so one thing about that is kind of curious is that a few weeks ago I've unlocked Darth Revan at like 3.6 million GP, and I think I unlocked them like 1 month ago, right? Something along those lines. Ever since, we're now at 4 million GP, and I'd like to talk about how to bloat your roster because Commander Ahsoka Tano is going to be unlockable via the Conquest game mode, and you're going to be able to get 90 shards of Commander Ahsoka Tano in only the hard mode. If you're not playing the hard mode, you'll be getting a lot less shards for this amazing character. We've made a kit reveal on this character. Check the box above. So in regards to how that kit goes, right, and whatnot, it seems like it's going to be pretty impactful in regards to theory crafting, has all of those cool tags and whatnot. But let's get into the meat of this. How do we bloat our roster in a way where we are trying to still get to that 4 million GP so we can unlock Commander Ahsoka Tano, but we're also trying to get a roster in a way that still works for other departments of the game? So as you can see here in my favorites, I have all of the current requirements for Master Kenobi and Commander Ahsoka because I want her. And the way I'd see this is a little bit like, okay, so the first thing that you should look for when you're trying to blow your roster is, well, maybe you have a little bit of a hoard towards something that you want to work. Instead of hoarding as much, you just do those upgrades as you go. That seems like one of the very first and the easy things that you can do. But maybe you're trying to look for other ways and you don't have necessarily a plan that you can go through. You just really want to maximize the amount of GP you can access. But I have the tricks for you. Some of the ships that were the best to do that on were honestly crewless ships. Because you get these ships over to level 85, you max their abilities, there's no pilot associated with them, and you will notice that the GP isn't that high. Compared to crew ships, but the investment you have to do into these ships is a lot less significant. And actually, getting these reinforcements maxed out is bonkers. I believe the third level to get these reinforcements over, you get these reinforcements over to level 3, and you get around 10,000 GP. It's insane the amount of GP that a reinforcement to level 3 here makes. I think maxing out your Hyena Bomber, your Vulture Droid, your BTL Y-Wing if you haven't yet, your Rebel Y-Wing, which is why you can see that it's also maxed out in that department. Let's do here a few more upgrades. Let's see how much this is upgrading. Look at the difference that these make. Because it's a crewless ship, every ounce of that GP is just going straight into it. And you can see how much these crewless ships make of a difference. There's also the Imperial TIE Bombers, another crewless ship that's available in the game. I don't have it at 5 stars. I'm not going to farm it to 5 stars. I really can't afford to do that. But if you do have it at 5 stars, again, it's just that extra cushion of GP that you can add to your roster. That being said, ship GP, adding it into it, it's the easiest path to go through. So gearing up your pilots, making sure that you're putting mods on everybody, and these pilots having 15 level mods is going to be a necessity to make your GP look a lot better. Because, if you're trying to keep your GP lean or something like that, you'd remove these mods and you're going to make a huge impact into removing your GP. Well, if you see it from the other way, the other perspective would be, if you're putting all of these mods on, you're going to get huge amounts of GP boost. So, for example, if I were to remove all these mods from Maul, we can see that we lose maybe 1.5k GP on the roster. Let's see. I'm actually kind of curious. Just to illustrate this point, so we're going to remove these, we're going to confirm, and we lose 3.5k. That's super significant because all of these small changes that you add are going to contribute towards it. So I'd really advise into doing that, and also putting ability levels here on these characters. If you have the Mark III ability mats to spare, I think that's super worth it. Now, you also have to be realistic with which GP you're working. If you are below 3 million GP, it might be too difficult to bloat over to 4 million GP, might not be worth, and because you'll just not be able to get the character within the 3 months. However, if you're pretty close over to that portion to get there, or maybe you're trying to look into other Conquest characters and you want to have the next Conquest character within the next 3 months. So you, for example, can't get Commander Ahsoka, but you can get, say, the Maul that people theorize that could be available in the next Conquest game mode if he's not a GL, right? Maybe that's something you can work towards. So in my opinion, all you can do really is have level 15 mods that you can spare to these characters. I would really say to be stingy with your credits because you really run out of them. So be careful with what you're upgrading. But ships are your cushion on how to work your GP around. So if you actually see my GP at the moment, we have 2.21 characters, which isn't a lot considering that I'm almost 4 million GP, but I have 1.7 million on ships because I've just been trying to bloat, and honestly, I don't want to spend resources on characters that I don't want to. Well, you know, aside from requirements, I guess requirements are characters you don't want to gear up. But if you can spare those gear pieces, spare your stun guns so you can put them on characters that you necessarily have to upgrade, and you upgrade your ships instead, you know, you get a lot more GP out of it. Also upgrading the characters that do own the ships, of course, so their ability levels will also make a significant boost. So that's pretty much how it goes, I think. So if you do have again the cushion of ship credits to work with and gearing up these crewless ships, absolutely worth it. You saw how much GP we got from putting those ability levels over on Y-Wing, so that's totally worth it. So I think that will be all for today. That's how I bloated my roster, about 400k GP within a month. So I would suggest for you to do the same. I'm actually just working on a Malevolence right now. I've been trying to hoard to get 2 currency, but I'm going to get Malevolence to 6 stars just so it helps me just that slight bit as well, by increasing not the overall power of the Malevolence as well via the stars, but then we can also put the prestige associated with the 6 stars. So maybe you do have some of this stuff hoarded up. Maybe you have the credits to also upgrade some of these ships that will also see significant boosts over on the amount of GP you're gonna have. So if you were ever trying to save that kind of GP just so you have better JC matchups, well, you know, you might have to say goodbye to that, because Commander Ahsoka Tano does look like she has the kit to make that amazing. And even Razor's Crest kit is pretty good too. It makes some pretty cool things, but I don't have Razor Crest, I don't have BAM, I'm not too interested in that. I'm definitely super interested in Commander Ahsoka Tano with this kind of Galactic Republic faction that I have worked on at the moment. And maybe you do too, and you see a lot more interest in Commander Ahsoka Tano than Beskar Armor Mando's ship. So that will be all for you today. I hope this helps you out with gearing up your characters and your ships. So please let me know if you found this helpful. If you have other suggestions on things that I might have forgotten to mention, please leave them down below. I would always be trying to help out if possible with that. And yeah, I do stream on Twitch pretty often, so if you want to hop by and see me there, that's also a thing. So, you know, you can always do that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and see you soon. See you in the next video, probably GEC video.